Today's drawing lesson is going to have a question attached. What happens if the Mosasaur meets the Distortus Rex from Jurassic World Rebirth? So the Mosasaur is in the ocean and the D-Rex is created in a lab. Who would win in this fight? Does it matter where they fight? Would it play out the way it played out with the Indominus Rex and the Mosasaur? Who would actually win? Maybe the Distortus Rex is a little bit smarter and you think he'll do a lot better. Anyways, that's a scenario we're going to go over, and we're going to go through and draw it together. Okay, we're going to draw a fight scene between Distortus Rex from Jurassic World Rebirth and the Mosasaurus, okay? So let's get started, okay? We're going to have Mosasaurus essentially biting down on Distortus' head. So let's see how we would go about doing that. So I'm going to go over here, and you can follow along with me. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to draw a curve right there for the top, that big bumpy part of Distortus Rex's head. Okay? And it's going to pull around down over here, kind of along the side. It's got that big head. Curve right here, and see what's going to happen is he's got that bump, right, which looks like a narwhal, and it hangs down a little bit. So that's what that is. It's kind of a curve right there for the hanging. Going to go over here up for the eye. Eye's pretty small. Curve. Line underneath. And dot right there. Alright. Other eye's a little bit on the far side. We might not even really see it, to be honest. So, but I guess we can put in a little bit. Line right here. Curve around the corner there. So it's barely going to be there. So the most important part is we're going to put in the edge of the jaw. We're going to draw a line across over here, up for that, the teeth, the row of teeth. Jaw, the cheekbone right there, and maybe the side of the head. But for the most part, you just want the cheekbone right there. We're looking at him so far. We're going to go in here and we're going to draw the teeth. Right there, just downward, just some teeth right there. Over here now. Over here. Curve. Line over here. And he's going to have his mouth open, right? Like he's going like, oh my gosh. By the way, who do you think would win between the Mosasaurus and the Distortus Rex? Is there anybody who wants to guess who would win that? Lower jaw right here, we're going to find the teeth like so. Back of the jaw over there. And then he's got this kind of like Chad lower jaw sometimes. So we do that. Back over here. Curve. There we go. All right. Pretty good. Pretty good so far. We got his head right there. So now we're going to draw in the Mosasaur over here. Well, that's his eye. But really I want to draw in the curve right here of the mouth as he's kind of attacking him in water there. Edge of the snout. Up over here and like again, this is the Mosasaur now. Brow. Line over here and line over there. kind of just to kind of finish off the top of the head right there. This is his eye over here. He's kind of closing his eyes. He's kind of biting in there. Not really closing. We got put like an eye right there, but we're barely going to see it. Again, part of the snout. And we're going to have some teeth coming down right over here. There we go. Some teeth. All right. Looking good. Nostril over here. We have another nostril right there. And maybe the edge of the head. Okay. We're going to go over here and find the whole body now. Line over there. And then we're going to line over there as well. Okay, that's like his back. It's going to go into, it's going to lead all the way into his tail. We're going to kind of go to the edge of the paper there. And if you have to go off the paper, so be it. Curve up. We're going to have his front fin over here kind of stick out the side. Maybe it'll probably be sticking out over here. Around there. And then we got the rest of his body, I would say, kind of leading up over, let me see, kind of over here. Right here. There you go. And it's gonna, we can draw it all the way over there. Kind of like, almost like a snake, but we're going to add in our rear fin over here. You know, it'll kind of work out. All right. Line over here a little bit. We want the little bit of the kind of the skin. That's how you attach kind of the arm right there. As you attach the skin, a little like you have the skin folding. That makes it look more convincing. And then line over here. Don't forget to hit the like button if you do like the subject, and also give me another topic I could do as well. That would really help out. Skin over here. Could be scenario with Jurassic World, or it could be anything else. Just give me some stuff to draw. So basically we're throwing a line right there for the counter shading, right? It's going to be darker on the top than the bottom. Right on. Okie doke. And looking pretty good so far. All right. So we got the Mosasaurus. That's pretty much all we're going to see. We're not going to be able to see the back fins or anything. I guess you could kind of throw the back fin out here if you'd like. That's not necessary, right? It'll be probably really small in the distance over there. You could also throw maybe some, and there's some coloration on him as well, but it's fine, I would say, as is. So let's get back into the Distortus Rex. Okay. So the Distortus Rex would, let me see what would happen to him. Probably over here. And his arm might be up, right? I was going to say. So we'll have his arm over here. So maybe his arm comes up like so across. Finger right there. Finger right there. Finger right there. There you go. And then his arm would be over here, probably, you know, because it's really close to his neck. There you go. We're gonna pull back along there because his front arm is basically a human arm for the most part. And then he's got the little bitty arms over here, but we're just gonna draw them like little hints of them. Doesn't have to be anything over here. Well, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna draw one little bitty arm over here. So line over here for his neck, and then we have a line down, up, right there for that little bitty arm. He's got that little bitty arm with two prongs or whatever. So he's got that little bitty arm, and then it's paw. All right. So we can draw like his other shoulder over here. Maybe his other arm goes down. Like he got like stuck in the water. He fell in the water. I would imagine that's probably like the scenario that happened right there. And then for the most part, this is going to be just like, you know, his general body for the most part. So now that we have these guys like this, right? Now they have him like, well, I guess you could draw his knee kind of coming up right here. There you go. So now that we guys have, they're a little too smooth, specifically him, right? The Distortus Rex is too smooth, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw like a big part of their character is a craggliness of them, right? So we're gonna draw maybe like some lines down here under his neck. So around this area, just kind of, you know, put like a shadow right there, but then at the same time, lines right here, a line underneath. Curve, line above. All right, so like I said, it's small, but you want to be careful of the details. So maybe like right here, bag under his eye, right? That's easy, right? All these characters like dinosaurs, T-Rex, every one of them have like little bags under their eyes. And maybe small, I guess you want to keep these lines small, right there, this indentation. If you didn't watch my video on how to draw Distortus Rex's face, go take a look at that. I put it up a few days ago. I'm talking about these little lines right here along the mouth, and there's a reason for them. Curved line in the mouth, right there for the tongue. Filling it in. And filling it a little bit under the tongue right here. Curve, curve. Line, line, line. Curve over here. And then we, you know, like that, this little curvature stuff, these little lines, they're just like little textured lines that you throw on here for, again, it creates the illusion of like detail, right? Or I guess that's what it is. You're kind of just putting stuff in harmless areas, right? To just kind of show the viewer. So maybe there's a fold from the teeth right here a little bit, right? As he bites into the Distortus Rex. There's little lines over here along the side to kind of just show the side of the arm, right? Same thing over here with the knuckle area. And this stuff, by the way, one thing about it is it's kind of slow. See how it's kind of slow moving, the process? But it will create a different, it just kind of creates a whole different thing. How do you say it? Like it adds up, basically. These little changes, these little itty bitty lines along the arm, they create a, I don't know how to say it. Like they create a, like all together, it creates like a different looking picture. So he's probably going to cause a cast shadow on his body. So I'll probably add maybe a line like so underneath. And normally I'd make that solid, but I'll just throw it like that. Some lines across. Over here as well in the armpit area, there's probably going to be some lines around that area. Same thing over here. Okay, and then we can do the, well, like I said, even the same thing over here in the arm. You can kind of keep this up, right? When little skin squishes together, for example, like in the arm right there, you get like squishing going on between the muscle area. This isn't an anatomy lesson, but if, like I said, if you want to learn more about that, you can always check out the main website, which is sketchmonsterart.com. Go check that out. I'm going to throw a lot of lessons on there, just about basic drawing. We can do the same thing, by the way, over here with the Mosasaur. Right? Mosasaurus, Mosasaur. You can do little thin lines. But the Mosasaur is like aquatic, so he's going to have... I think he's gonna have a little. He's gonna be a little smoother in my opinion, but it doesn't have to be totally smooth. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I want to thank you very much. I appreciate you watching, and if you actually are watching right now, you watch the whole thing. You're a rock star. You're amazing. Comment, say hello if you actually saw the whole thing, and I'll know that you saw the whole thing. If you say hello right now, I literally will know you saw the entire video. So thank you so much. And oh, I guess if you want to, like, one last thing, if you want to bring some attention, you can bold out the eye a little bit right there, just to bring a little attention to that area. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so that was amazing. You finished this lesson, but keep it going. Keep the art practice going by clicking this video right here. It's going to be within the same theme, and you want to keep it rolling to get better and better and better and get that art flow going. So click right here.